Funding for this program made possible by the Investor Protection Trust, the State of Alaska Division of Banking and Securities, and AARP Alaska. In today's program, we learn how the banking industry is training to better spot fraud, and we learn what passwords you should stop using. Now here's your host, Ann Secrest.
Hello everyone, welcome to AARP Alaska. Today our guest is Don Krohn, Bank Security Officer for First National Bank Alaska. Don, thank you so much for joining us. If you would, share with our audience a little bit about your background.
Well, Ann, thanks for the invitation. After I left high school, or graduated from high school, I went into the United States Air Force. There I had a MO of, my MOS, was law enforcement specialist. After my tour there, I went to work for the United States Customs Service. I worked in the narcotics interdiction in Chicago and here in Alaska. 1984, I moved over to the Anchorage Police Department, worked as a patrol officer, promoted to detective, and became a white-collar crime investigator and worked in the Major Crimes Unit. I got my Bachelor's of Science at Wayland Baptist University in Criminal Justice and Human Services. In 2002, I retired from the Anchorage Police Department and went to work for First National Bank Alaska as their security officer.
Now you're one of those rare birds that you have a law enforcement background, but you also know the banking industry. True,
and so it takes a while to learn the banking. There's an awful lot to it, and so by marrying what I know or knew as a police officer in working these crimes and understanding the banking side, by marrying those two things together, we were able to come up with some programs that drastically reduced losses to customers and the bank itself.
Speaking of the bank at your institution, you've designed a training program. What is it designed to do? What's involved in the training?
Well, for the first 6 months, I watched what was happening within the bank, where the losses were, how they were being handled, what kind of training was going on. And so we started looking at items coming in that were fraudulent and trying to identify those things that when we look at the items, we could help us tell that they were fraudulent from two perspectives. One of them was from the bad guy himself coming in and trying to rip the bank off and its customers, and the other side of it, of customers that have gotten themselves involved in scams, and to prevent them from taking losses, of course. And so once we were able to look at the items, compare them, and see what kind of a trend was taking place, we started a training program, an extensive program, teaching all of our people in the bank how to identify those items by different traits that they presented. And we continually would capture them, look at them, compare them, and then every time we found something new within the system, we would delegate that information out to our employees.
Now you even told me when we were rehearsing, you talked about body language even.
Yes, we actually talk about body language. I talk to our tellers and customer service and those people who have interaction to look at eye movement. You know, you want to have 60 to 70% eye movement when you're talking with someone, and when they're talking to you, you want to have 90%, so that they, in their subconscious, believe that you are understanding and helping them out. And so by doing that, watching eye movement, body movement, it helps us determine the nervousness of a person, whether they're telling us the truth, those sorts of things.
Now, when it comes to the banking industry, what do tellers look for now?
Well, what we're looking for now in our counterfeit items, the trends that we're seeing are full middle names being written out on the payee. So say John Adam Smith, for example. You don't see people writing the full middle name out on an individual on a check. You may see an initial now and then, but typically you don't see a full middle name written. And that's one of the trends that we're looking for. We look at the layout of the check, the background, spelling, grammar errors, those sorts of things that the counterfeiters are making.
Now, one of the things you do in your job is something called a risk assessment, and you've got a little brochure if you want to hold that up.
Yes.
What's involved with risk assessment there?
The risk assessment is designed for businesses. What we do is we go in and we look at a business's profile with the bank. How are they doing their banking? What are they doing that we believe is correct? What are they doing that they could do better? Are they using fraud techniques to prevent their businesses from taking losses? And so this booklet is full of a bunch of yes and no questions that they answer for me, preliminary, and I go in and I look at the answers. I come and sit down with the business. I look at how they're doing business with the bank just to make sure that they're following good business practices and to prevent losses.
The other thing that you do, and you've got another handout here, is you conduct seminars for customers and non-customers alike, and it's all about fraud prevention.
Yeah, we've created a fraud prevention checklist, and it goes from check fraud, credit card, debit card fraud, insider embezzlement, identity theft, and some computer security. And what it is some good points to follow when you're dealing with check fraud and all those different things to help you not become a victim.
And we'll have your contact information if people are interested in getting that particular card.
Yes, if somebody would like to have,
you.
if somebody would like to have a copy of this, I'll certainly see that they get it.
Wonderful. How hard is it keeping up with the fraudsters?
It's a daily job. We are constantly looking at what we're receiving, what we're capturing, and what kind of changes the bad guys are trying to do out there to beat us every day. It's a game. We're trying to catch them and they're trying to beat us.
Now, you showed me something, and I hope you still have that dollar bill in your wallet. I'll get the dollar bill here from my wallet shortly. As you said too, money is printed, it's not copied.
Right, money is printed and it's not copied. And so there are a lot of things that you can do with counterfeit money, and it's easy to determine whether it's a good bill or a bad bill. And a quick way to do it is to grow a fingernail a little bit longer. And the clothing that's on the president, if you take your fingernail and you run across the clothing, you'll feel it's raised. It's kind of like a bumpily type feeling there. And so that tells you that it's a printed bill. A copy is just like this, it's copied. So as you're looking at your bills, and it's easy to do, is you take your fingernail and you just run it across the clothing here, and you can feel the raised print, which tells you that it's a printed bill and it's not copied.
So if I do that, and there is a distinct feeling to it.
Yes.
And so somebody at the front line, a cashier or a teller, simply has to do that very quickly.
Right. And so there's a lot of other things that are being used out there. They use the black lights, they use the portable ones, they have the caged black light that they stick them in, and they have that notorious pen that they're marking on the bills. Well, the problem with that is if I take this $1 bill and I bleach it clean, and then I use a good copy machine and I copy it and turn it into a $100 bill, your pen will react and say it's good. And so when the bank gets it and runs it through their counting machines, it's going to count as a $1 bill because that's what it is.
Interesting. Let's talk about mailboxes. And I've got a little slide up that is so typical of millions of mailboxes that we see. And this mailbox is recognized, it's sanctioned. What is the problem with this mailbox?
It's like opening the front door of your house and leaving it unlocked. What I advocate is wrap a chain around that thing and pull it out of the ground. Go rent a mailbox. whether it's at the mailbox company or wherever you can find yourself a secure mailbox, go out and rent that mailbox, because what's happening is the majority of the fraud today is being stolen right out of the mailbox in front of your house. It's got that red arm. You put your confidential information in there that you're sending out, checks that you're paying in the bill. You put the red flag up. You're telling everybody, hey, there's something personal in my box.
So how do the thieves operate when it comes to mailbox delivery?
Well, they're driving around ahead of the mailman to those boxes that have the flags up, taking the mail out. Then they're waiting until the mailman comes, and then they're following him around. And the flag, when he puts mail in a box, lifts the flag to tell the homeowner that there's mail in the box. He goes through there, takes what he wants, puts the rest back, or sometimes they'll take it all and throw away what it is that they don't need. And they're finding bank statements, checks that are being mailed to you, checks that you're mailing out to pay bills, and so they're gathering an awful lot of confidential information about you and your banking.
Is mail theft a problem in the state of Alaska?
Yes, it is. And we've seen an awful lot of it across the state. Fairbanks, Anchorage, I believe they even had some here in Juneau and some of the other cities throughout the state.
Let's turn our attention to best practices when it comes to personal computers. When it comes to security and computers, what precautions can people take? And, you know, we could be talking about home and or at work.
Well, let's talk about work. The biggest enemy I think we have at work is email. Email is not safe. And so it causes most interaction, most intrusions into business and home computers is through your email system. And so one of the things that we ask for businesses to protect themselves financially is to have a standalone computer that is not networked with any other computer within the business. Because if the computers that have email get a Trojan, get hacked, get some sort of virus on it, it will find its way to that banking computer.
Right.
So if the banking computer is standalone and has no email on it and no internet browsing, and you're only using that computer to go to your banking sites, your investment sites, then you're lessening the opportunity by quadrillions, I think, of having that information taken from you.
And you do that analysis as part of your risk assessment for
Yes,
businesses as well?
we do.
We'll be right back with Don Krohn right after this break.
The AARP Fraud Watch Network is a free resource to help you protect yourself and your family from identity theft and scams. Sign up and you'll receive the latest scam alerts delivered right to your inbox. Visit aarp.org/fraudwatch.
We're back with Don Krohn, Bank Security Officer with First National Bank Alaska. And we were discussing best practices with personal computers and really for both home and office. And one of the top things is to ask the question, is your computer physically secured? One of the things you recommend is to disable the auto run. Why is that?
Well, one thing about the auto run, and well, let me step back and talk about the user portion first for a moment. There are different users on your computer, and what we want you to do, and what we suggest in best practice, is to use the user profile on your computer rather than the admin. And so by using the user and deactivating that auto portion of it, where it automatically updates your virus or any other software you have, is under the user portion. It will ask you
first
whether to what it wants to upgrade. It'll come in and ask you whether you do or you don't want it done, which gives you the opportunity to look at the pop-up that's popping up in front of you, to take a moment or two to see, well, is it legitimate? Is it real? Do I really have that program? And then tell it what you want it to do. And so the other thing is strong passwords, the longer the password, the more symbols, the more letters and numbers you use, the stronger it is. The weaker it is, it gives those people opportunities to run those programs they have to find out what your password is. So the longer it is, the more symbols you use, capital letters and numbers, the stronger it makes it. One of the other things that we talk about is keeping your firewall, your antivirus, all your software up to date. The reason that the software companies create patches and updates are because they find those chinks in the armor of their software, and that's what those things are for. So you should be updating your computer every day to see if there's updates to be had for the software and whatnot that you have. The other thing is your USB ports on your business computers. If you don't need them, purchase computers without them or disable them, and it prevents the loss of data from your business computers by maybe an employee who is not so honest, that's carrying around one of those thumb drives. They stick it in the computer, download your secrets or whatever it is about your company that you don't want other people to have. So it's like in the banking industry, we disarm those USB ports, and we also have software that anything that's plugged into the computer, whether it's an iPhone to charge it or anything, it immediately notifies our information security people that somebody's plugged something into one of our computers.
You mentioned when we were preparing for this program, you mentioned, number one, that you shut down your computer at home daily.
Yes.
And you also run a scan daily.
What I do at home, I have two separate computers. One of them I use for my internet banking and for investments that I have. And I don't have any email or other programs on that computer other than my financial things. And it sits separate from my laptop. And so what I do every day is when I'm done with whatever I'm using my computers for, I check for updates, I update the computer, and I run my virus scans and my malware scans to make sure the computer's clean. Then I turn it off. And then I do the same thing with my other personal computer that has email and has my Internet Explorer or whatever I'm using to go onto the internet. And I run my updates, go out and look for the updates myself, and then I run my virus scans and malware scans to make sure that computer's as clean as possible. And then I shut them off so that there's no fear of any contamination to the computer.
Most people keep theirs on. What is the danger of keeping your computer on, say, overnight?
Well, it's my understanding that if you're connected to the internet and your computer is on, that somebody can get into it.
There's always a danger.
There's always a danger of something happening, or somebody sitting down to your computer if it's on and it doesn't have a good password protection and using it without your knowledge. So by turning it off and having a good password protection on it, protects you as an individual and your system.
Let's talk about best practices that require user buy-in. And by itself, what does that mean? We're talking about basically you've got to have people who cooperate. The user has to cooperate.
The users have to cooperate, that's correct. And so one of it has to do with training your employees on what is correct etiquette with your computers. You don't really want your employees going out on social media, looking at Facebook and all those different things on their downtime and possibly getting some sort of virus or malware dropped onto the computer. The other thing is understanding email is, if you're not expecting an email, you shouldn't necessarily open it, especially when it has an attachment. What I do is if I'm not expecting it, I delete it. Or at the bank, we have a spam folder that I can drop it into. The other thing is, if you're expecting an email from me, there's some sort of protocol that goes along with that. Does the email match the things that I do? Or is it off from what my job would be, sending you an email inviting you to go somewhere or do something? Then that's not normal for my emails to be that way. So you would want to delete something like that. An email from me is going to deal with fraud, it's going to deal with banking, it's going to deal with something internal. And if it comes to you and it's totally separate from that, then you ought to be looking at that and going, well, that email's not from Don. Do I have the right email address? And look at the email that it's coming from, and is it correct, or has it changed by one number, one letter, or one symbol?
Right. The other is, you used a term, drive-by downloads.
You can go to an unprotected site. Let's say, and I don't want to name any of them, but let's say you go to a well-respected website and it's not secure. So first let's design what is a secure website? A secure website has HTTPS prior to the 2 slashes in the www and in your site. It also has a padlock outside the browser window, and that can be either at the top, down in the right, left, sometimes on the left side of the page. It must have both. That's a secure site. And so if you're going from a secure site to a secure site, you're pretty much okay. It's when you go to a site that doesn't have the HTTPS and or the lock, which means there's a lot of activity going on. So let's say I go to that site, I'm looking at it, I'm looking at product, I'm looking at photos or whatever, and there's a bad guy out there, some computer hacker, and he sees my computer. He can drop a virus or a malware onto my computer in the background, and my virus protection or malware protections may not catch it.
Got it. You used a quote which was quite frightening, and I jotted this down here. You said, "I can use your computer to commit crimes without you knowing about it."
There are programs that can be downloaded onto your computer by these hackers, and they can sit and use your computer to commit crimes. Meaning, let's say I hack into your computer and I use your computer to steal information from another computer. Well, while I'm looking at the computer where the information is stolen, I might be able to replicate the IP address that took it. So it's going to take me back to your computer, not to mine. So yours can be used as an intermediate.
Let's talk very briefly about ransomware. What is ransomware, and what industries are being affected?
Well, ransomware it's just reared its ugly head here in Alaska. It's called a Locky virus. And what they're doing is they drop that onto your computer and they lock up they encrypt is what it really does, all your electronic files on your computer. Your computer is basically useless to you. What they're doing is they then ask you to pay a ransom in order to get a key to unlock that encryption, which means you've got to pay them typically in Bitcoins, not US dollars. So you've got to go out, buy Bitcoins, and pay them in Bitcoins. They're targeting hospitals and banking right now.
Wow.
And they are still doing individuals also.
I want to talk about social media. You had mentioned that, and your words of wisdom, how people should treat social media. A lot of people say, "Hey, I'm going to..."
Well, along with the social media is a lot of businesses are using it, and they use it for advertising and whatnot, and it's great for that. But one of the things that we see happening are CEOs, presidents of companies and whatnot are going out on social media and telling them, "Hey, I'm going to Hawaii to a convention, I'll be gone for a week, this is what we're going to be doing." And so there are bad guys out there, hackers, that are watching the social media and seeing that the leaders of these companies are not there. And so we've seen where they'll create an email address that is almost identical to that individual. And then they'll go to the website, find the individual within that company that has access to the funds. They'll send them an email purporting to be the CEO, the president, or whoever it is that's not there, asking that individual to wire money. And we have seen multiple companies that are not using dual control wire those funds out.
I want to move along to the passwords not to use, and I've got a screen up. These were the top worst passwords of 2015, and it's amazing that people use these. What do you recommend as far as a very
Well,
good one?
like I say, the longer the password, the better. The more symbols, the more numbers, the more capital letters that you use among it, make it secure. These passwords are passwords that are used year after year after year by those people who are, say the word, too lazy to create a good, strong password to protect themselves.
Also, if you would hold up that brochure, this again, your risk assessment, and that is for businesses. Those are for the customers.
These are we designed this for our customers at First National, or prospective customers, to go out and look at their banking relationship to make sure that they are following best practices to protect themselves and the bank.
And the fraud prevention checklist is for anyone who asks.
This fraud protection checklist is for anybody who asks for it. I'll send it to anybody.
And up on the last slide is your contact information. I want to put that up on the screen and people can contact you.
And I want anybody to understand, if they need help, I don't care who you are, whether you bank with at First National Bank Alaska or not. If you've got questions or you need some help, you can always call me and I'll do my best to help you.
And your contact information is right there. I want to thank Don Krohn, Bank Security Officer with First National Bank Alaska, for being with us today. Don, thank you so much. AARP is a nonprofit, nonpartisan member organization with more than 87,000 members in Alaska. AARP is dedicated to enhancing the quality of life for all as we age. We lead positive social change and deliver value to our members through information advocacy and service. Thank you for watching AARP Alaska.
Funding for this program made possible by the Investor Protection Trust, the State of Alaska Division of Banking and Securities, and AARP Alaska.